Now, the municipality is a Preleni metropolitan municipality, but the department, which is the problem, is the Department of Human Settlements, and that's where the problem lies today. My understanding is that the occupants want to leave. They've got legal ground where they can stay. They want to go there. So it's not really them that is causing the problem. Our problem is the Department of Human Settlement is not doing what they agreed to do and what they were ordered to do.
Mr. De Priya, with all due respect, as many attorneys, wasn't there a court order issued that they should evict the property 2 years ago? And then we come to 2019 and they're still there. And now we're in 2020 and they're still there. So who's to blame here? Isn't it our constitutional right to have the property that we live in and that we pay for as taxpayers, and yet our property is being deteriorated by somebody or something or whatever party? With all due respect, something has to come to party here.
Okay, got yours. Yes, ma'am.
The gentleman suggested that can we explore the possibility to pay our rated taxes into attorney's trust accounts or make that an order of law? So if we give the court alternatives to say to them, comply with this, alternatively give us permission to pay our rated taxes into attorney's trust.
Absolutely. Yes.
We have heard that this owner doesn't seem to be part of the party. We know council is useless, so let's face the facts. So I suggest that we work on a plan, a backdoor approach to this. When we approach the court, we say the council refuses to do this, court, we ask you to approve this, so that we can bypass council totally and we are no longer dependent on them. That's what I propose.
Plus that, the Putfontein land has been bought and then the development is busy taking places there. So we are still waiting for you to come back and tell us what is this thing.
Point taken. Thank you. The next.
Marikana's people make demands like having toilets, having water, all these things there. What about our demands as a community? When is that going to be taken into consideration?
By your speculation, we do understand that there's a time frame that needs to now happen. What is your intended timeline from your guys' side, not for council? What is your speculation? Another month, another 2 months, another 6 months, another year? What is your guys' speculation of what you would like to put forward on the table so we can just understand where you're going in the city?
In the last meeting, we were told that if the property is not ready for the people to vacate, they would be moved to a different property while theirs is being prepared. What's happened about that?
Okay.
Telling us about the obligations that is due to them. What about the obligation to us as citizens in this ward? They are on private property. What is the obligations to private property?
And that's our firm side. We are in regular contact at this stage with the attorney acting on behalf of the owner. He is cooperating with us, he is sharing information with us, and he understands where we come from. So the next step for us is they must have a meeting with the Department of Human Settlement, and they need to give feedback for us. We intend to join that meeting as an observer at this stage, and to ensure that the right agreement is concluded to be made an order of court. So from our side, we are writing letters to them. We ask them, when is the meeting? We must have the meeting. This is our suggestion. Can we participate in the meeting? I can possibly give feedback to Jaco, so to give feedback to you in a month's time of where we are and where we were, whether if we were successful or not in executing our plan.
I don't think you have an idea what that man is going through. I don't think you do. I don't think you have an idea how much money he has spent on legal costs. I've sat with him and I know. And I also think that another angle from which we went out is the businesses around the area, they are suffering. And I think one lady there said we don't think about businesses that were losing their clientele and stuff such as that. We're mindful of it. We've mentioned it. And that's another area where you can come in. If you can petition them for loss of income because of the inability to enforce the bylaws, then I can stand with you. again there, I can help you to do it. I can even be the mouthpiece of speaking and ensuring that they hear that message, because that's a reality.
Where the problem is. We cannot follow the system. The system is
Yeah. So I hear you saying that I'm not going to, as I said to you, I will not in this meeting tell you how you can circumvent the system or what you should do pertaining to that. I can speak to you on a one-on-one, but I will not in such a meeting tell you what I think you can do to circumvent, because I don't think it would be proper for me to do it.
I'm afraid to say I think they have done very little to date. Our problem is the following. Although we have the order, or the owners have the order to evict, there is a possible remedy for the occupants, that if we proceed, or if the owners proceed with the eviction order now, they can most probably approach the court and ask a stay. Because they say, listen, don't evict us, our property and the ground is not ready yet, and who is to blame is the Department of Human Settlement, and that's where the problem lies. So what we have done from myself and my partner's side, we have consulted with the owners and their legal team. They are aware of a similar judgment also against Ekurhuleni in another matter where the Department of Human Settlement also did not do their job. And what the occupants did in that matter, they interdicted and stopped the eviction order from being executed. And that's the risk. If that application is made, the eviction order will be stopped, and there will be other consequences for us to get the eviction order back in place. So the owners' attorneys have negotiated at this stage with all the parties, and they've provided them with an extension to do what they need to do in order to get the eviction going. The last meeting, they had a recent meeting with the Department of Human Settlements, who make some promises, but it appears that the owners themselves is also not precisely certain what has been done, what still needs to be done, and what the time frames is to do that. Our advice to the owners was, why don't we just proceed to bind them by agreement with the timelines? Firstly, identify what needs to be done. Secondly, get timelines in when that is going to be done, get an agreement, and get that agreement made an order of court. If that is the case, we can ensure that the Department of Human Settlements do what they need to do to ensure that this eviction goes through. They thought it was quite a good idea, and they're now going to implement it, and we'll be monitoring them to ensure that they do implement it. Is there anything that the community can do further? One suggestion, which has some merit, is to place the municipality under terms to re-evaluate our properties. We pay rates and taxes. Our properties have depreciated because of the municipality not doing what they need to do. If the municipality do not respond, which I may anticipate they may not, that we bring an application to force them to re-evaluate our properties, which will affect the rates and taxes. That affects their pocket, and maybe they can get maybe the finance department can get the Department of Human Settlement to start doing their job, because it's affecting their finances. So that's more or less where we are. We're expecting to meet with the attorneys of the owner next week to get feedback from them. Have they identified what was done and what is still outstanding? What is outstanding? Do we have a blueprint and timelines when that will take place? Do we have agreement with the municipality that they will do it, or do we need to bring an application for contempt of court or to compel them to do that? If we have an agreement, let's make that agreement a court order, and make sure that the head of the Department of Human Settlement is a co-respondent there. If they don't comply with that court order, that he can face the consequences of contempt of court, which may be imprisonment or imprisonment suspension, pending them complying with what they need to comply with.
Should we not get the answer that we need, I'm willing to take that and your plight to the portfolio committee on the government in Parliament, and then put your issue squarely before them, because that means that the Metro has failed to look after the interests of its residents. I think following the law in that way, that's what I'm willing to do. Thank you.